Welcome back. We're continuing our Reptilian Kingdoms Saurian Warlord run. Old Slargrak here. We're just winding up and reaching the end of Act 1. As I promised, here's your shop. You've been waiting on bated breath. Right, so let's see what we've got. Again, I'll probably do without the expanded hardware. We have 376 to play with. Probably won't bother with the Newt Braves. It's a kind of faster but weaker infantry squad. We're going to sense a choice between these two. Obviously, we've already got a unit of Raptor Riders. So the other one would be... It's a retinue for the Lord, which is interesting because it would allow the Lord, who's actually quite potent, to get into combat more effectively, whereas in the Saurus block, the Warrior block is a bit too slow. The Dactyl Riders are pretty excellent in that they're fly and move 20, so they can flank effectively. But I think what splits the two is that they're cheaper. So the game created cleverly implemented this 25% off system. So it used to be the case that, well, obviously one of these would just be objectively better than the others and you just take it, but in this case it's worked. I'm going to end up taking the Raptors here. Can't get any upgrades for them yet, that'll be later. So then we have 147 left to play with, which is a shame because we'll probably be 3 gold off an upgrade. How many attacks is our Lord currently on? 3, which isn't great. We'd obviously like some more, so that would be a good. +1 attack there is good. Other things we could in theory get: Fury would be really good, +1 power on the charge. That's 100, and that leaves me at 47. Give him a great weapon. Wouldn't be a terrible... Well, we say that because he's already armed with... He's power 4 and will go up to power 5. So the great weapon will mean that he loses on defense, so he goes from defense 5 to 6, which is kind of... who cares? And if you're up against something with strength 3, you'll be okay. But you can game this out because the only time his defense will become is relevant is when he's engaged in a duel with another character, and the other characters are... pretty much you're always going to find them to be at least power 4, so it's probably not... Being 5 is great because it gets you far enough, but I think he'll be okay to drop 1 there, so I'm going to give him the great weapon so he can really smash through things. Give him some upgrades, and then we'll give the Banner of Fury to the Riders. Great. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, and then we'll have... It's now him with his... So, he counts as being on a Raptor Rider himself, so he found a mount. Well done. Now our choice is what we do next. We'll take the fight. I'm hopeful here that we can take not an excessive amount of damage and get some healing against an elf patrol. So remind ourselves, yes, this one has salamander aspect. These two can take a bit of a kicking, the other ones are slightly more fragile. We're still waiting for that one, so I'll have you come there so you can run into things. In fact, if we're clever, we might put him on the very side here so that we bait something to come to him and then flank him with this unit. You'll be in the centre, you'll come down here and then kind of delay there. That's what we're going to... Well, annoyingly what's probably going to happen is they're going to come... He's going to go straight for that one, he's going to go straight for that one, so I'm not actually going to be able to execute the little flanking move I wanted to do. I doubt this is going to achieve much anyway. Might as well let them go. Okay, no, he's basically handed him a side charge. Okay, well they've made that rather easy for me. I'm going to wait for him to move to see what my options are first. After that it should be pretty easy. Okay, so we'll kind of delay another turn by doing this. So, forward he comes. Yeah, I don't think I can avoid the Triceratops being hit. The upside is I don't really care on account of the fact that they'd be power 3, Lance's shield is +2 on the charge, so you got up to 5. It's still 5 versus 7, so again, they're not going to kill it in one hit. It's not going to die, it will regenerate its wounds, and then it comes down to making a really favourable discipline check, so we'll probably just hold and be fine. Eventually the jungle swarm get into the side as well. Forward they come. Oh, and I could even do a choice here. You could put him into the side of that one or that one. No wounds, their ranged fire is pretty dismal. Right, now how do we want to do this? This is a fairly easy decision. We'll just take the... You could even take either or there were you so inclined. And then here, how are we going to do this? What would you prefer to do? If I took this one and then I take them from the front, probably not smart. You want to kind of avoid giving them a front charge if you can. So if I can get over here, that'd be ideal. No, I can't. I think I'm clipping. Unfortunately, I've got a bit too close to the woods here, which is costing me a lot of my movement to get around. So that's not going to hurt. we might do instead is just back off one turn. Oh, I could even Hex of Ruin them next turn to make them completely hopeless. I think I'll just cunningly back away one turn. And the next turn I'll be able to pounce. Because he'll be in a pretty good position to get somewhere. Do. We'll allow the Reaver to misposition intentionally. Okay. So, chariots are specifically constrained to desperately needing the charge to be effective. They get huge bonuses from, as we can see. Oh, shoot. Right. Oh, they hit every single time. Okay, well, that's not averages at all. Between the two, I'll eventually be able to catch him with something, so I think this is fine. One of these units will get the flank. We weren't meant to take, you know, max damage from a basic volley there, but never mind. So that's it. Flank then later. You're fine. This unit again, I'm just going to buy a little bit of time because they're going to get hit by something eventually. Either I think they're technically okay, but I'm kind of pushing it. You can either go further away, but then you just can't twist as much. Yeah, it's always going to be really tight, but I think that's okay. Be really unfortunate if it isn't, but you can look at that along with me. I think there's a gap there. I think we're okay. Right, abilities, we can either give them power, so they'll go from 4 to 5 to 6, which is relevant because it gets us over the threshold, and they'll go from 5 to 6 to 7, which wouldn't matter because it wouldn't get over. So what do you want to do more? Would you want to help this squad? Or do you want to help the Triceratops? I think I'd rather make this one nice and squishy, because I think we win this one anyway. It hit me, so unless I fail every single one... Okay, I take 4 wounds, unfortunate. So we'll obviously lose the combat, and as long as I pass a discipline check, we're fine. Great. Now they're stuck there forever. I'll never be able to get through him. Over here, we probably won't kill it because our damage output isn't amazing, but I don't expect them to do anything back because we can just salamander regen each time. Oh, they've already run away. Okay, well that's a free charge here. I didn't expect them to. They had enough discipline such that they probably shouldn't have fled, but okay. I mean, I might as well just take this then. And you go there to help that. Okay, we now have you pick up so that when that unit holds, we'll be able to get in there and side charge. I'll Warcry this turn to help both units. Send this one forward. Well, you'd sit into the rear, you might not, even then you might not be able to catch them. We'll see. Yeah. So again, they're going to do not enough damage for me to ever care. Waste all their attacks into a unit that's far too strong to be bothered. So they have to reroll the 6s, so they get an extra fail. The jungle swarms, just by sheer volume of attacks, they're really low quality, but eventually they can do damage to even higher armoured units. This will be pretty dismal because we've realised that their damage output isn't fantastic. Please don't fail both. Okay, we're okay. As long as we only failed one, we'd regenerate. Failing both, we'll just lose a guy outright. And that's all she wrote. So we lost one to a really unlucky bit of ranged fire, but fine, it's still a unit of 5, isn't it? It's still perfectly viable at that size. You don't have to take healing for that. You'll... Oh, I see. Aha, clever. So because it didn't... Strange interaction there. Because they took damage, Triceratops took damage at this phase, and it didn't allow the fight to go on to the next turn, the regen didn't kick in, so he stayed down at 6 of 8. It's kind of irrelevant, though, because we realised in the previous part that when the first turn ticks over in the next fight, you'll just go back up to 8 anyway. So 4 or 5 is fine, just hit gold. You could probably use a couple more to be effective, I think that's reasonable. Everyone else is just gold. Okay. Yeah, that's it. I'm happy to leave that like that. You could, in theory, stretch that unit out and be a little bit more combat potent, but I'm fine to leave it like this. But I think in this instance we'll be okay to just, yeah, we'll leave it packed there. So that's fine. Oh, I forgot to take the heal on that unit. I took the gold instead. Never mind, the gold was put to good use, I presume. It'll be used later. Drazgog, a philosopher poet, so you can tell from his complexion, right? It's not exactly a novel strategy, but you know the deal, so we'll put the fast ones on the flanks, we'll have these two cooperate to get something, you kind of just stand there and help him out. Okay, never mind, we have to come all the way around the side here to get there. Their fast units are over on this side. They've got no shooting, so I'm just happy to pass and force them to make a decision. Right, they're going to come barreling forward, so I'm just going to basically waste a turn by doing this. Force them to move around a bit. Don't particularly want to... I'd rather the boars get stuck on the Triceratops than anything else because of how tough it is. The chariot's less of a concern, to be honest. So we'll just have to do this one now. I'll have you start making your way around. Okay, I'll move... let me get... They're going to move that one last, aren't they? Well, these two dead last, which is fine. I can't do anything about it. So, I mean, it's not exactly possible to get any flanks against this, as you may have noted. It's a pretty smart way of actually advancing a line. There's a reason, you know, infantry in actual fights move like this. Can't get around them. Guess I'll just get you into position to... that way. Why not? Do later. Yeah, if they don't cover themselves... I could have probably gone a bit further. Okay. Okay, well never mind, I'll just take the... I suppose the temptation is to take the rear charge there, but you might end up having him turn and kill you next turn. Be a slight hassle. Here, I'm just going to waste the turn, see what you can do. Okay, so they've come forward there, which is fine. What will probably happen is the chariot will come around here. The chariot coming around there is okay, because it only has, what, 3 attacks, and then it will go up to 5? And we have 5 wounds each, so unless we get quite unlucky, we should be okay to get away with it. So yeah, I think he's... yeah, we'll get it. He's probably going to go barreling around that way, so... I mean, we'll just take the charge I wanted here, I guess. And why not? I could even catch him already, but he's going to slip away. Go on, let's do a wound to him while I can. Go on, plink a wound off. Yay! It's fine. No, they stayed exactly where they are, completely wasting his movement, because you can only engage me with one of these. The other one's going to be doing absolutely nothing. I guess I'll just take the boars then. Yeah, they're gonna, and then he's just going to waste its time. Here, right. Decision time. We don't have any sort of regeneration on these, so if you send them into the front of a mob, you'll take a lot of attacks and probably lose unnecessarily. So, but sending him into the side is not a bad idea. He should be able to 555, but we have a great weapon. Yeah, better skill. He'll have better power, more attack, so he should just win the duel against Drasgog here. And the unit should, in theory, win against those, or I could even Hex of Ruin them just to make it really brutal. If they turned, what would I do about it? I would probably have to send them over to help. I think I'm going to do this. Have him crisscross. Everything else is okay. Oh, uh-oh. I didn't think about that. They can actually hit me from both ends. Okay, that's going to hurt. I still don't think they can kill me because of how tough I am, but as long as I don't fail a break test, I'm okay there. Right, there's no point in doing anything fancy over there, so we'll just Hex of Ruin this one. Make that really easy to win. Yeah, they're going to do the annoying thing. But they've done the annoying thing in the best possible version where they haven't positioned themselves to actually get a counter on me, so I can pretty much just ignore them. We're going to win that, they're going to break, presumably, and then we can come around and start them in the back. So let's instead move you around this way on the presumption that something will be hittable over here. Next turn we can start making our way. You're fine where you are, I'm happy to delay. And you're going to have rush up here just in case something goes untoward over there. Like so. He's war cried to increase his power, which is fine. Right, here we go. So 2 hits from the chariot. Okay, 2 wounds, that one will hurt a lot. And then me hitting back. Okay, 2 wounds. And then, right, how many hits do they get? 6. They could in theory kill me if I get no saves. But I get lots of saves, so I'm okay. In fact, I barely lost combat even with the flank and all the extra damage. We hold, and we're fine. They'll never do any more meaningful damage to me. Okay, we're 3s to hit re-rolling, which is pretty amazing. Okay, miss everything, that's brilliant. That's not average, but because we do double wounds because of Raptor, we actually do 4 wounds and kill him instantly. We're not dead. We take 2 wounds of 3, who cares? Nothing else is ever going to be able to damage the character, so he's basically fine. And then the unit itself, yeah, 6s because they're defense 1, so pretty good. They can't kill a guy because they've only done 1 hit, and we're fine. Don't think they can possibly pass morale. Yeah, you can't actually roll 1 on 2 dice, so we've got them. Great. So they're down to power 4 and 4, so I'm going to have a 2-up save. They're never going to do anything again. These we don't care about. We'll skip and reposition. I'm compelled to go first. That's slightly annoying, but what I can probably do... So I'll send him round and hit that one in the back, and have this one hit that one in the side. This one will try and fail to catch me, I suspect, so I'll effectively buy a turn by doing this. Okay, yeah, he's wasted his time going for a unit he'll never be able to catch, which is fine by me. Is that enough to get me to the rear? No, unfortunate. I have to twist less and do it like this. How far do I have to get there? I'm almost there. I go like 0.4. No, I need a little bit more turning. I don't need that much turning, so 0.5 maybe? Yeah, I can see them. And it's clearly a rear charge. So yeah, they're clearly in vision there, so that should be good. No, I'm not using any abilities. I mean, is there any point? You can make it power 6, but that doesn't change any of the thresholds here. He's already... Actually, it would, because these are all power defense 5. I mean, no, I'm going to save that because there'll be a lot of joint charges going on, but I'll probably... I could Hex of Ruin the Chariot to see if I could kill that this turn, because the next turn it's going to be Warcry, and that'll break all of their units effectively, so you don't have to worry anymore. Ah, you know what I forgot? He's going to turn, so I might not actually be in effective range there. I'll have to wait and see. But you can take the easy path here, which is just skip this. There we are. Get out of my way. In fact, you can even side charge them if you prefer, and just ignore that unit. I think that's smarter, because if I went for this one, they would then turn and hit in the back. I'd rather get rid of them now. Okay, they haven't turned in such a way that they've freed themselves from my vision there, so we got away with it. Here, if we're going to do that, that means you're not going to be able to avoid getting combat, so I'm just going to leave. Need to waste that unit's time. Yep. As long as we don't fail a discipline check here. They do no damage with the chariot. I hit it twice, doing 1 wound. Okay, what was 6? Hit it twice, doing no wounds. So it's a tie because they technically have a flank. 1 left in chariot, he'll eventually kill it and turn and deal the other one. That's all of the enemy's fast, hard-hitting stuff, just trapped forever. We'll deal with that one, and we'll deal with that one. Yep. Don't send them into the front, that'd be just a colossal waste. You probably lose combat due to how the numbers work. What I can do though is happily send them into the side. And you'll turn and get ready to... Because I suspect that unit will still be there next turn, so I'll have you get ready. We'll Warcry this turn, because we're going to use it on quite a few units. Okay. Trying and failing to do any meaningful damage to me. That should probably kill him now. Yeah, finally got rid of him. Lots of hits, they could do some wounds. Or none, because of our amazing defense. And now we'll turn and face. And I don't even have a flank bonus, so we'll probably start winning combats there. Our Lord hits a bunch of times. Splats 3 on his own. And then the unit, not great because of its terrible skill. We need to improve that when we have a chance. Skill 3 is just a bit grim. They roll double 1 to hold. How irritating. Okay, we're going to be in a bit of a brawl there now. 5 goblins disappear. Take 1 wound, which is actually 0 because of the salamander aspect, so that's fine. These ones do at least have the good decency to break, as they should. If they're going to charge me. But ordinarily I would just take the rear charge there, but I'd rather not get them in from the front. I'll take that one instead. Yep. And this one should be able to fit. I'd say fit into either, but you just put yourself there so you have a choice. Realistically, you want to go into that unit. You just wait there because that's going to either break or turn and face them. Take 1 wound. I do 1 wound. So I take 0 wounds and they take 1. After 20 turns, I suspect they'd all eventually die. Character hits every time. They have decent saves though. Unit kills a couple more and then it's 3s. Yeah, we take no losses there, which is good. Now you run away? Hey! And then here, the jungle swarm. 3s, but they're forced to reroll 6s, so they fail a couple more. The poison's slightly better than I gave it credit for mathematically. 1 wound back, so you know, nothing at all. They hold. Okay, we're going to have to save our... We're probably going to lose a jungle swarm unit there. That's enough attacks to do only 3 wounds. Slightly annoying. So they've taken no damage and they've taken 1. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to send that one in. And if I lose 1 Saurian Warlord, that's okay because it doesn't change our combat value. You can't quite... I mean, I was going to say you can't quite get there to help that unit, but even if they could, they wouldn't be allowed to charge because they can't fit. Well, maybe they could technically fit there. Let's test it. I don't know if that's true. You might be able to like align yourself by just sitting there. What we do need to care about though is the front to front. I don't know if I can get there. I'll do this precisely. So 13.6 is straightforward. Maybe, we'll see. No damage. One more. We're slowly but surely going to win, and they run away. Well, that's that. Triceratops in the end just pummeled them all to death. Alright, can we... Ah, blast, we did lose a jungle swarm. Fair enough. Raptors kill 4. Take 1 wound, which is nothing. And our Saurian warriors kill a bunch. We might lose 1 here. Oh, we're okay. Something to bear in mind is that the jungle swarm is actually great combat resolution fodder for the enemy because they can just get a load of cheap wounds, so you might not want to get engaged in combat in that way. It could cost you. Okay, so the rider's leveled. And also get Salamander. I just can't turn it down. It's so good. The amount of damage you don't take due to attrition is incredible. The other rider unit leveled. Right, they can either move extra fast and through difficult terrain, do double wounds to big stuff or gold. That's probably going to take the damage over the gold. So move faster or hit real hard. We're not really having difficulty with positioning or movement, so I'd rather kill stuff. Triceratops. The skill, I guess, so I can just hit and kill things. Well, I've never done this before. Technically, we might benefit from taking the discipline. The justification being is that the only way we run away is by failing a morale check, and if we go higher and higher, it puts it in our favour. So as a unique exception, because of this particular build, I am actually going to take the discipline. I don't think I've ever done that before without having like any choice in the matter. Ah, no salamander aspect. That's a shame. I'll have to wait for it next time. I don't really care about the damage save, so I'd probably prefer to take the unit size. Just make them a real nuisance. And then everything else here is still viable at that size, so I'm just going to take... maybe I'll spring for the gold on... I can't remember which of these is his unit, which is the one I started with. Does the level give it away? Okay, so this is the baby unit that he's with, and this is our original unit. So I'll go and put them at 5, and I'll take gold on everyone else. Yeah, piece of cake. So I think that's now okay. We have a quick, so we can quickly game out our path here before we end. So again, we want to take fights where we can, so that's the most appealing. And you can have an elite, and then a whole, I mean, you get. But what you want to do really is end up with. You want to try and aim for the camp before the final fight. The justification being is that there's no point in getting gold anymore because there's no armories past this point. So when you come to, well, what would you prefer before the final boss? Would you prefer a fight, a random event, or a camp? Well, the fights are pointless because they give you gold and XP, but then so do the camps. You lose the gold, but you get more healing, and the gold's irrelevant. So they're just the one occasion in which these are just objectively better. The random event could, in theory, give you something nice, but it's never going to be as consistent or as useful as just taking the heal. So you want to wind up there. In terms of how we get there, you can go this way and go fight, random fight, shop, fight. Yeah, there's a lot. A couple of random events here is a bit annoying. But I guess there's only 2 and 1 elite. If you go up here, you'll go an elite. Problem is you have to go down this way, which puts you through pretty much the exact same thing actually, because it's going to be 3 fights and elite, 3 fights and elite, and you get 2 random events versus 1 random event and 1 rest. It pretty much amounts to the same thing. So what would you prefer? Would you prefer 2 random events or a heal? And I think we can get away with having the random events actually more interesting. So we'll go this way, and that allows us to get there as we would want. But I think that's where we'll leave off on this part, so that's what we'll be doing next. Yeah, I'm happy to leave us there. So I do hope you enjoyed that. If so, do like and subscribe. I do appreciate it immensely. It helps out small channels of this a massive amount. You can literally see it in the analytics that the jumps, because they're so tiny and individual, there's a big difference for any one you get. So very happy whenever someone subscribes. It means a lot. If you have any notes on the playthrough or anything you want to see in the future, do let me know. I do read all the comments, so if you just want to chat, that's fine too. I'll see you next time.